a replay. So thank you so much once again for tuning in. Please put hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm streaming here right now on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you guys so much for joining. So today we are going to be talking about clearing up your generational story around wealth and money. So if that interests you, please put an emoji in the chat. Thank you guys so much. So today we are going to be talking about clearing generational trauma around money. Now, what does that money story look like? What does a money story look like? So I'm going to explain that below, but before I do, let me know where you guys are tuning in from today. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story right here. My parents, they immigrated from India, from South India, in a little place called Bangalore, India. And they immigrated here in the early 80s. To the United States in the early 80s, right? And when they immigrated here, they literally had this much money. Like I think my dad said he saved up some rupees, like that ended up being $20, which in the 80s didn't really get you a whole lot out here. My dad, he had the help of some colleagues, some friends to really get him on his feet and get him to where he's at today, essentially. But with that came a lot of struggle. It came a lot of scarcity. There was a lot of scarcity mindset in our household growing up. There was never enough food. We always had to make more food. We always had to make more of things. We always had to make more. We always had to get more. We always had to make more because there was always a fear of running out. There was that scarcity mindset coming into place. And I had to unlearn all of that. You know, I was always afraid of spending because growing up, I was told that you can't spend, you always have to save. You can't spend money, you have to save money, right? So we had to constantly keep on this path of we have to always say we can't spend. You know, we didn't have that mindset of spending in circulation, right? So we had to constantly keep that in mind whenever we saved or whenever we spent money. It was always like saving, because you never know when there was a rainy day fund, right? That whole rainy day fund. So that's what I had to learn. I had to learn all of that. I had to relearn all those things. And I'm going to teach you guys a simple code that I followed, okay? So let me write that down here. Where are you guys all tuning in from today? Let me write that down here. Clearing generational trauma around wealth. Hello. Code. The first code is, you know, what I had to do was I had to create a new money story, basically, for myself. I created a financial freedom date for myself. Oh, is that how you spell it? Financial freedom date. So this is like a lavish experience that I had to create for myself. Lavish experience, right? So this could mean anything. A movie, like expensive movies, expensive dress, going out for dinner by myself, dinner, movies, all of that stuff right here, right? Creating that financial date for myself, right? It's financial freedom. It's giving me myself permission. That's what I did. And I made this promise to myself that I was going to pay it without guilt. I did this a million times and I had no idea about that. I did this so many times. I had no idea that I was doing it. Whenever I would go out to eat with friends, whenever I would go, I did this for myself. So I created this sort of lavish experience for myself where I just paid for wine. I did all of those things and I had no idea. Hello. Hi, Becky Ramsey. Hi, how are you? Hey guys. Nice to see everybody here. Thank you. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Another thing I did was I established a wealth witness practice. It's like sort of a wealth witness practice where I shared one money weekly win with a trusted friend. I did this with a lot of family and a lot of close friends, actually. And I don't downplay it. And, I have a friend, her name's Lisa Marie. She actually has a whole thing related to money as well. You can go follow her. She helps women manage their money, right? Manage their money in an empowering way. So go check her out. That's my friend, Lisa Marie. And she has a whole community where she does this, where she has like a wealth witness sort of, it's not like a wealth witness practice, but I do know, I believe they do share like weekly wins and stuff like that you've done. And create that abundance back to you. I would also share my offers at the same time. This is what I did. And that breaks that gap. That breaks that wealth, it breaks that wealth gap, because you're sharing a win instead of sharing shame. So establish a wealth witness practice with a friend or trusted family member. All right. Did everybody get that? Hi guys, how are you? Nice to see everybody here. Okay, so this is it. The established wealth witness practice with a trusted friend and family. Hi. Ooh. All right. Screen cap that here. Okay. I'm going to erase all this. And the last thing that I did is I also created a generational wealth blueprint. And this is perfect. There isn't a perfect time to create a generational blueprint, but however, 2026 would be a great time to do this. So 2026 generational wealth blueprint, right? Map out exactly. I always tell people, if you want to make $100,000 a month, create a budget for it. 100K per month budget. or 10K a month budget or 5K a month? What would you do with an extra 5K? What would you do with an extra 10K a month or 100K or 200K, whatever it is? What would you do with it? And so let's say 10K per month. What would I do with an extra 10K? All right, let's see. 5K would go into savings. Another 5K would go in my checking. And in my checking, that would go like what, 2K go to bills, 2 to 3K would go to bills. 1K would go to food. 1K would go to food, and 1K would go to investing, right? Investing back in the business. That's exactly how I'd put it out, right? And I know there's like some business, some wealth will say, no, you should put it all back into your business. No, not really. You need to pay yourself first. So I would put half of it into my savings, right? That's, by the way, that is, I mean, they say a third, right? They always say a third should go into your savings. I'll tell you right now, like, I don't think that that's going to work out for a lot of people very well. So half of it should go into your savings, and the other half should go back to you, and you can figure out what type of how much money you want to invest in. So put 1K back into 1K out of the 10K to invest. Now you can just say, okay, the bills, you could put 3K into spending per month into whatever you're investing back into your business, right? By the way, I always heard, and this is a really good rule of thumb, 10% of whatever you're earning should go back into your marketing. All right, so 1K investing, marketing, you know, whether you're hiring out a marketing guru or 1K per month, I don't know a good one for 1K per month, just so you know. Don't know a good one for 1K per month. I'm sure there are some out there, but put it back into your marketing, right? Put it back into marketing your business, put it back into whatever networking events. I don't know what you're using for your marketing. Whether that's Facebook ads, whether that, and by the way, if you're a coach, Facebook ads, I'm not sure is the right way to go. And I say this as somebody with a lot of experience in marketing and advertising and branding, right? I have over 14 years marketing, branding, and advertising experience. If you are a coach or an energy worker, a light worker, mystic that wants to create wealth in their business, maybe stay away from the Facebook ads. Just putting that out there. Stay away from the Facebook ads, and also stay away from the Facebook groups too. If you want to make the 5K, 10K, 20K per month, stay away from all of those. And this is stuff that I've personally experienced, and this is stuff that that I've just seen working with working former clients that were, when I used to do a lot of freelancing in this field, the people who made 5Ks, 10K, 30K, 40K per month were not in those Facebook groups. They were, but if they were in a Facebook group, they were super high end Facebook groups. Like you had to pay to be in those, like $100 to $200 per month to be in those. So just putting that out there. If you are a healer, light worker, mystic, and you really, really want to put your message out there, do not use a Facebook ad. That is my PSA. That is my disclaimer. As somebody that has ran Facebook ads themselves before, I mean, yeah, you can run like a super cheap video ad, which I have done that a million times. I've done video ads and stuff like that where people have gotten in, people have drawn in, and I was able to get tons of organic reach. My reach increased, all of that stuff increased. But the thing is that it drew a lot of people in, but it didn't quite get the clicks, right? It didn't quite get the conversion. So that's a trap that I see with a lot of these heart-centered entrepreneurs, heart-centered coaches, mystics, entrepreneurs, light workers. I see that trap. And they hire Facebook ad experts, and they hire funnel experts. They hire a bunch of people. And you know what? Funnels and Facebook ads, I'm sure they work for a really good specific audience, not for the audience that a lot of the people that I would know that would work with. So don't fall in a trap. Don't fall in that trap. Invest the 1K either into a mastermind, either into, you can invest 5K into a coach if you wanted to. I mean, if you want to save up for that, you can. Invest in it. Invest 1 to 3K per month. You can invest 1 to 3K per month in your business if you have that. But whatever you're making, just invest like 10% of it. 10% of it back, right? Okay, so let's say 5K, 1K for investing. Technically this should be 500, right? So 500 if we're investing, yeah. So let's put 1K into investing, right? Let's put that in. And then you make 12K, 1,200 goes back into your business, all of that, right? Right. So also keep in mind, Lisa Marie actually says to put 10%, no, 5%, 5 to 10% into your taxes too. So keep in mind, tax season, right? Tax season for all you guys, right? There we go. All right. So keep a budget, right? Keep a budget, and then it'll manifest, right? It'll manifest. So let's keep that in mind when we create that new money story for ourselves. I already said that. So build a business system that operates without your constant grind. Okay. So I have several funnels. With that being said, I have several funnels. I have one funnel that goes into my course right now, that goes into my free course. I will go into my other paid programs. Now that goes without like selling it, right? And I'm actually building another one right now. I'm actually building another funnel right now as I as I talk through this, actually. So creating a legacy isn't just money, it's the freedom the money creates, right? So create a blueprint, map out exactly what your wealth protects, right? Just like I said here, create a blueprint, create a budget for the extra money. That's what manifestation in the root chakra is about, right? Root chakra, right? And I didn't even get to all of these other chakras right here. Things like the root chakra, you need to start creating that foundation for yourself. Because if you don't create that foundation with that root chakra, if you don't create that foundation with your root chakra, if you don't create that if you don't create that flow within that root chakra, guess what? What these other chakras will, guess what will happen? They will start to dissipate. They will start to fall. They will start to crumble because this isn't stabilized. That root chakra isn't stabilized. Muladhara isn't stabilized yet. And what happens when the Muladhara isn't stabilized? The root chakra isn't stabilized, right? We get scarcity mindset, we get lack, we get worry. And this is all stuff that I see. I see all of this. That's one of my spiritual gifts, is that I see these chakras, right? I see them in the 5D, and then I help them, and then I create them. I create the shifts in them where they go and they flow, right? And that's the permanent change. A lot of people want instant change. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is no instant change with the root chakra. There is no such thing as instant. Can I change it? Can I change it? Yeah, I can shift you real quick. But what everybody wants is permanent change. And guess what? You don't get that permanent change without some sort of wanting to grow and willingness to grow. And that change does not happen overnight. Now, my clients, they have achieved I would say a lot of them have achieved pretty significant growth working with me. And they have achieved really big changes since working with me. So and I'm particularly talking about my private one-on-one clients too. So my private one-on-one clients, when they worked with me, they've achieved a lot of pretty significant success, right? Right. Hi, everybody. Hello. Yeah, guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. And let me know in the chat, do you have any questions about the root chakra? Let's see if we can get some questions about the root chakra and stability. And stability, your lack of mentality, mindset, all of that stuff. Let's see if we can have any questions about that. And who is going to start building out a budget for their 10K? Extra 10K. Or if you have 10K a month, let's step it up a notch. Let's do 20K, 30K, 40K, whatever it is. What's the budget look like? Right? What's that budget look like for 10K, for 20K, for 30K? Let me know right now. I can tell you right now, if I had an extra 10K or 20K, well, if it's 20K, I'm putting 20K in my savings. I'm probably going to invest that 20K into some stocks, I'll be honest with you. And then I'll put the 10K, I'll put 5K into checking just to get some of the, to pay like some basic root chakra survival sort of bills. And then after I pay all that, let's see, food, all of that stuff, that will all get paid. Root chakra will all get paid, right? And then I'll invest a lot of it back into my business because that's how it grows. That's how it works. At 20K, I would love to invest in a team to make higher quality production videos. So the work wouldn't have to go on me, and so I can spend more time. Right? Right. Let's see here. And if I had an extra 20K per month, I would give so many gifts, actually. At an extra 20K, I would give a lot of gifts. Like Christmas would look amazing for a lot of people in my life. Like I would, I'm a pretty generous person. So I would say like gifts would go a very long way. Gifts would go a very, very long way with me. So I would do that. And of course, I would probably have to think about it, but like, yeah, maybe build like a garden. I would love to homestead, I would love to homestead and just get like a property for myself and just, I always thought of like a little cottage out in the country and living that whole lifestyle. Well, here's the thing. I say out in the country, but I'm like, I actually lived, I lived pretty far from the city, and I'm like, I've lived pretty far from the city before. I'm like, well, not way the hell out by the country, right? But I do want to live like, I mean, where I live right now in North Dallas, I'm in the North Dallas suburbs. Where I live right now is okay. Like I do like it. I'm really close to like Frisco and like Allen and all of those places. So I'm like, I could, I like living there, but I always saw myself as more of a, not a suburban, but not country person. I never saw myself as a city person, ever. Ever. And like I would say, like, yeah, my early 20s, wouldn't it be nice to live in the city? And then like I literally went into, I remember thinking that, and then I went to Chicago. I went to Chicago like a few times. In my early 20s, I would go out to Chicago quite a bit because I used to live really close to the Chicagoland. I lived in Chicagoland. I would take a train out to the city. And I don't know, I kind of hated it. I was just like, this is what the city is like. I don't know if I want to live here. Like I hated that hustle and bustle life. I really preferred a slower paced lifestyle. And then people were asking me like, you should come to New York. You should come to New York. And I'm like, if Chicago's any, I'm like, and they say like it's much busier, much more rowdier in New York. And I was just like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do I can't do it. I am so not this live in the city type of person, and I never have been. And gosh, I did try it. I did have a good shot of me like, every other weekend or every other, I would go by either close to city. Sometimes I would go downtown, and I was just like, I can't do it anymore. I really can't. I hate it. I'm sorry. I hate it. The hustle and bustle lifestyle is not for me, and that's why the South is a much better choice for me. I don't know. I do kind of like living out here, although politically, like, politically is a different story out here, but I do kind of like the slower paced lifestyle of the South a lot better. And which is why I'm like, okay, like I could deal with this. But yeah, like 20K, 10K to 20K per month. Let's stick with one number though. Let's go with 20K, an extra 20K a month. What would I do, right? So 5K would go into saving, and what, no, sorry, 10K would go into savings, 10K would just be, and like I would just probably put 5K back into my business and like 5K into all that, like, right, and into what I said. And now if we're talking about back into my business, we're going to be talking about like ads, maybe a coach, maybe like this, all that. And then like the other 5K would just be like would just be for taxes, things like that, savings, all of that stuff. And then the savings, I would actually try get that to work, that money to work for me. Get that money to work for me, right? So that's all I wanted to tell you guys. By the way, if you guys do want, to learn more about creating a new story for yourself, creating a new story for yourself and clearing your generational trauma around abundance, I do have that replay of my masterclass up. It's up. You get a workbook out of it. If you want that replay, please comment rooted below. Comment rooted below, and then I can give it to you. All right. I can give you that replay. It's 11 USD. I would love for you guys to be in there. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that felt so good. That felt so good. Yeah, I just feel so good now. Talking about all this makes me so glad I did it. All right, guys. So I also did this Reiki share yesterday. I had to tell you guys, I did this Reiki share yesterday. It was so beautiful. Oh my God. I did it with this girl that I met the other day at the networking event. She facilitated and she asked me to like clear and do some clearings with people. And there were some people that just wandered in like from the street and we were just clearing them. It was so fun, right? So I loved it. It was a great Reiki share. I had a wonderful time. I had a wonderful time. I was practicing my gifts. I had so much fun. So yeah. So if you guys have any questions at all, yeah, make sure to check out Clearing Generational, Rooted in Wealth, Clearing Generational Trauma Around Abundance. Take that. I would love for you guys to get into that masterclass. I also have another offer coming up. And it's called the Rooted Foundation. Rooted Foundation. Why did it take so long for me to say that? Rooted Foundation, the Rooted Foundation bundle. So if you guys don't just want the masterclass, you can get it in a bundle. You're also going to get my course, the Lower Chakra Quotient course, and if you want to get my Rooted Chakra Quotient course, the masterclass, and you're going to get a clarity call with me for 111 USD. Very limited time offer. Very limited time offer. You know, if you want to reach out for me with that, comment Rooted Foundations, or comment Rooted Foundation if you want to learn more about that. I'm probably going to have people in the actual course coming up soon too. So yeah, I am so happy for you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you guys to everybody in the chat that came in today. I love you guys all. Yes, so, and yeah, I am like ramping things up for 2026 this year. So I'm excited. 2026 is going to be the year of the fire horse. It's also going to be in numerology 1. It's going to be 1 or 10, depending on how you use your numerology. How you use your numerology. It's going to be year 10 or year 1 if you add that up. New beginnings. So if this year kind of felt like hell was on fire, you're probably right about that. You're probably right about that. Things were probably hell on fire for you this year, but next year, we're going to be in a year, we're going to be in a year 1. So which I love that. And it's going to be a great year for all of us healers and light workers and mystics. We're going to have so much fun next year. We are. I'm going to, like, the women who I'm working with, on fire. We're going to make history. I'm telling you. We're going to make history. All right. Love you guys all. I will see you again. What's today? Sunday. Today's Sunday. Well, happy Sunday, you guys. I forgot what the day is. It's been one of those weeks. You know, we had all of those solar flares and the Schumann resonance went off the hook. I was so tired the other day and I literally forgot what the day was. So yeah. If you guys ever felt tired in any way, like, that's the Schumann resonance. That's the Schumann resonance for sure. Okay, guys, I Love all of you. And if you want to make history with me, if you want to continue to make insane progress in your life, in your business, I want to be there for you. So, comment Rooted Foundations will get you in. We'll get you in. You're going to get the Rooted in Wealth masterclass. You're going to get the Rooted in Wealth masterclass, and you're going to get the lower chakra quotient worth 555. And you're going to get it for 111 essentially. And then you're going to get a clarity call that's worth 222. Almost $1,000 value for 111. That's like a 90% discount. Yeah, insane. Okay. I really do have to go, you guys. I love you all. Take very good care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah, continue making magic, my loves. Mwah. Take care. Bye. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Bye, everybody. Bye.